final, the next minister is going to take us into the final session. But before or after she finishes, I don't know how we want to do this, but she's going to wrap up for us. I want us to be able to lock hands together, as one and pray and not be ashamed. We can do that at the end because I know we all have issues. We have burdens. We take our positions and kneel and just do what we want to do and just cry out to God. So Minister Becca, as you minister and as you finish, if you can just take that charge, Mr. Elizabeth is going to join you towards the end. You push us into that place of groaning where we can just lay and just groan before God and just pour out everything before Him. That's why we're here. We've done our bit. We've come now. We're in the holiest of holies. But we need to lay down our burdens at the altar of Jesus. Amen. Amen. God bless you, oh God.
Hallelujah. Hallelujah. It's a privilege and an honor to be here. Amen. Thank you so much for having me. Hallelujah. I'm just going to minister something that I've been using to worship, and it's been on my heart and my mind. Hallelujah. My responsibility is to worship and adore you. My responsibility is to tell the whole world about you. My responsibility is to worship and adore you. My responsibility is to tell the whole world about you. Oh, Lion of Judah, I worship your name. Your name. Oh, Lion of Judah, I worship your name. Oh, Lion of Judah, I worship your name. Lion of Judah, I worship Hallelujah. We've all sung from the same hymn sheet. We've all said the same thing that the Spirit of God has raised upon our hearts. Philippians 3:10 says that I may know him and the power of his resurrection and the fellowship of his suffering. My assignment today is to pray about purpose and distraction. Hallelujah. A lot of the time we want the power, we want to know him. But it says, that I may know him and the power of his resurrection and the fellowship of his suffering. We don't talk about the fellowship of his suffering. We want the power, but we don't want the process. Hallelujah. We want the power, but we don't want the process. That I may know him and the power of his resurrection and the fellowship of his suffering. You preached what I wanted to say, that if you want to walk in your purpose, sometimes walking in your purpose is a lonely road. It's a part of the fellowship of his suffering. Sometimes walking in your purpose, you cannot do what other people are doing. Sometimes I complain to myself and I say, God, it's not fair. Why is this person doing this and they're getting away with it? Because you are called to go up higher. Hallelujah. You're called for a difference. You're called for a change. That I may know him and the power of his resurrection and the fellowship of his suffering. A lot of the time, why we don't fulfill our purpose, why we cannot see ourselves the way he sees us, is because we are looking through the opinions of other people. We can't see ourselves the way he sees us, the way he wants us to be, because we're looking at the opinions of other people. Sometimes we're distracted. We don't want to really do what God has called us to do, not because of the contention of the enemy, but sometimes we're worried about the contention of our friends. You know, if I do this, what will my friends say? If I do that, I might look a bit weird, but that's a part of the process. Hallelujah. There's a time if you want to go up higher, the truth is we have to go down low. Hallelujah. If we want to go up higher, the truth is we need to go down low. It's like a tree. Blessed is the man that walketh not in the path of the ungodly, for he shall be like a tree planted by the rivers of living water. Before that tree comes up, that tree has roots down. That tree has gone down. Sometimes we want the fame. Church has made purpose into something famous. Purpose into something you make money from. Purpose into this. But the truth of the matter is purpose will strip you.
Hey, that's right.
If you want to go up higher, you will lose some friends along the way. That's the fellowship of his suffering. If you want to go up higher, some people will say, what is wrong with this person? Are you okay? That's the part of the fellowship of his suffering. But that is a part of the process. If we want to go up higher, we must accept the process. We don't want to be alone. But many times we read that Christ went alone. He secluded himself. He dove down and he prayed and he prayed. He went down so that when he comes out with power. Yes. David said, lo, I come in the volume of the book that is written of me, that I may do his will. When you go down low and when you make his praise your priority, he will clothe you with beauty for ashes. He will pour the oil of joy for mourning and the garments of praise for the spirit of heaviness. When you go down low, you will begin to realize, God will begin to download the revelation of who you really are. David said, no, I come in the volume of the books written of me. There's something that is written of us. There is something that is written of us. But we will never know if we want to be a part of the crowd. We will never know if we don't go through that process. We will never know if we don't humble ourselves and go down low. For lo, I come in the volume of the books that is written of me. What is written of me? As our sister said, we won't know until we read the word of God. What is written of us. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. For this I do. I press towards the mark of the higher calling. And in pressing towards the mark of the high calling, there's some things that we have to leave behind. For the moment, there's some people that we have to leave behind. You know, what do we allow to enter our spirit? Who is in our environment? Who is in our circle? You know, we need to begin to ask questions. You know, things just don't happen. We need to start asking questions. Who are you? Who do you stand for? What is your purpose? Does it align with my purpose? We need to start asking ourselves, looking around our circle, that is this where God has asked me to be? If not, you have to move away. That's the sacrifice. That's the fellowship of His suffering. Who are you joined to? In Luke chapter 1, verse 41 to 44, when Elizabeth heard the greeting of Mary, it said the baby leaped in her womb. We have come today. When I was on my way, I was so heavy. I was so heavy, and I was like, God, what is this heaviness? I rebuke this spirit, I rebuke that. But when I came and I saw the fellowship of the women, the salutation of the women, I knew that something leaped inside. Who are you allowing in your circle? What are you saying in your circle? What is the vision? Do they speak the language that will cause the vision inside of you to leap up? We need to start asking questions. We need to start asking questions. Who are you? What is your assignment? What is your purpose? What do you believe in? Does it align with what God says? And if not, then walk away. Walk away. This is the fellowship of His suffering. We want the power, but we don't want the process. We want the power, but we don't want the process. I had to do this. Towards the ending of last year, I had to do this. I was tired of going round and round and round some mountains. You know, my life was, let's say, when we go on a train, we're going on a journey, right? And when you get on a train, the purpose of you getting on that train is so that you will be able to come down to Enfield, right? But what happens is sometimes we board the train and you know, along the way, sometimes we fall asleep and we miss our stop. What do we do? We get down, we have to turn back around and go back. Sometimes we're on the train, you know, and I want to get to Enfield, and I see somebody and we're talking, we're having a laugh. And guess what? I miss my stop. What do? I get down, I go back round. I start again. And we will keep going round and round and round this circle. Round and round. You know, when our focus is not on Him. When our focus is not on Him, what will happen? We're on a journey. Our life is that train. We're on a journey. We want to go to Enfield, but hey, Sister So has bought a new shoe. Why don't I have this new shoe? What's going on? We compare ourselves to each other. Guess what? I missed my stop. I have to go back now. And this is why we get distracted. We get distracted because we are not faith. We're not looking unto Him. I had to make a decision last year and said, do you know what? I'm tired of making people my idol. Sister, please, can you show me how to do this? Oh, please, sister, how did you do this? Oh, please. That's how I was. I was looking up to everybody, but I was not looking unto Him, the author and the finisher of my faith. When I started looking up to Him, I had to seclude myself from people that I love. I had to seclude myself. They couldn't understand me. All they kept saying is that, what's going on with her? What's going on with her? I don't understand her. I had to seclude myself from people. I had to reevaluate myself. I had to put my life before me and say, why am I going around this mountain? Father, I'm tired of going around this mountain. I'm tired of going to Sister Susie. Sister Susie, please, how did you get this? God, if you really love me, why am I still here? Why don't I have the shoe that Sister Susie? But that is not what God called me to do. So I made up my mind, God, even if I don't have that shoe, I'm ready. Even if I don't have that husband, I'm ready. I'm ready to stand. I'm ready. I'm tired of going around the mountain. That's the fellowship of His suffering. It's a lonely walk, but you know what? I'm seeing see great and mighty things that God is doing. I'm not worthy, but His grace covers me. His grace makes me worthy. His grace takes me higher. Why? Because when I look up, I level up. When I look up, I level up. In Him I move. In Him I live. In Him I move. In Him I have my being. When you look up, you level up. When I lift my eyes onto the hills, where come my help? My help comes from the Lord who made heaven and earth. He would not allow my foot to be moved. So when I stop asking, sister, how far? Sister, God began to show me. When I said, God, I'm gonna stop sinning. Hallelujah. I'm being real before you. You know, God, I'm gonna stop the sin. I'm gonna let go. I had to let go of some men. Hallelujah. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm a woman in ministry. I'm a woman believing God. You know, I've been through divorce. I've got a child. I'm a single mother. I had to let go of excuses. I had to let go of the approval of people. Why was I not fulfilling my purpose? Because I was looking for my purpose in people. I was looking for approval from people. But I had to say, I'm sorry, Mr. Right, Mr. Left, because you know Mr. Right. I'm sorry, Mr. Left. If you can't put a ring on it, I have to leave you. I'm sorry, Sister A. If our thing is not in alignment with God, I'm sorry, I have to step back for now and let the high praises of God go up. I need to allow His praise to be my responsibility. This is the decision that I made last year. I said, God, I'm not entering 2019 the same way. I'm tired of going around this mountain. I'm tired of missing my destination. I'm tired of missing that train stop and going all right back around. I'm tired of it, Lord. I'm tired of the excuses. Jeremiah, God said to Jeremiah, I've known you. Before you were born, I ordained you. But what did Jeremiah say? Oh, I'm just a child. I'm just a child. Sometimes we want to go up, but what is that thing God has been asking us to do? What is that thing God has asked us to do and we make excuses? What is that thing God has asked us to do and we keep making excuses? Let's go before God and ask God, Father, forgive me. Forgive me, Lord. Forgive me for making people my idol. Forgive me for looking at people for help. From today on, I'm going to make your praise my responsibility. I'm going to let go. Well, whoever I have to let go of, that's a part of the fellowship of your suffering. That's a part of the process. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. And as you go down, and as you look up to Him alone, He will begin to download into you. Hallelujah. So I'm going to go into a time of prayer. What are the distractions? The distraction is when we look at people rather than looking at Him. That's the distraction. The distraction is when we look at things. The church has made it about things. Until we come to a decision that it's not about things. It's not about people, but it's about the King of Kings. Hallelujah. That I may know Him and the power of His resurrection and the fellowship of His suffering. When we begin to know Him, when He begins to reveal, when we go to that secret place and He starts to reveal, His Spirit rests upon us. And we're going to pray for these things. Again, the lady touched on it. Isaiah 11, 2 and 3. It said, and the Spirit of the Lord rests upon Him. The Spirit of wisdom, the Spirit of understanding, the Spirit of counsel, and the Spirit of might, the Spirit of knowledge, and the fear of the Lord. As we're going up higher, we need wisdom. We need wisdom.
Come on now.
We need wisdom.
Come on now.
When I was going through what I was going through last last year into early hours of this year, you know, I needed the wisdom of God in how to answer those people and how not to answer those people. I have to be very careful that I do not dent the reputation of what I'm representing, if you get what I'm saying. I have to be very, very careful. So we're going to ask God, Father, give me wisdom. Give me wisdom.
Yes.
The children of Issachar understood the times and the season and knew what to do. Give me understanding. Give me understanding. Where you are right now, just ask God, give me wisdom, give me understanding, and give me the spirit of counsel. Because when you go up higher, people are going to start coming to you for counsel. Hallelujah. People are going to start coming to you because they see something different. They see something new. They see a glory around you. They know that you've secluded yourself. They know that the glory of God has covered you. And they know that the light of God is shining. And there's something different. They're going to come to you for wisdom. They're going to come to you for counsel. So we need the spirit of counsel so that we can counsel them right. So that we will not counsel them in the way of how everybody else is counseling them. But we will counsel them the way God wants. So where you are right now, just ask God, Father, give me wisdom. Give me understanding. Give me counsel. And give me might. Give me might. For He has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of a sound mind. Let's pray that. We need wisdom. We need wisdom. Wisdom to love those that will wrong us, even in the process. Those that don't understand us, we need wisdom. We need wisdom. Wisdom so that we will show forth the high praising of God. And we will represent Him in the right way. Give me the spirit of counsel that I may begin to speak right things into the heart of mine. That as you take me up and as people come to me, I will be able to counsel them in the right way. And the Spirit of God shall make him of quick understanding in the fear of the Lord. And he shall not judge. Hallelujah. And he shall not judge in his sight. And he shall not judge after his own sight. Hallelujah. Neither reprove after the hearing of his ears. Hallelujah. That we will not judge. We're going to ask the Lord, oh Lord, open the eyes of my understanding, that I will see the way you see. I will hear the way you hear. Oh Lord, open the eyes of my understanding, that I will not judge after my own sight. Let's begin to pray that Lord, open the eyes of my understanding. Open my ears to hear you like the learned. This is what I have. And then ask God for people that will surround you. Ask God about the people that surround you. That God will begin to bring Elizabeths. That when you get together, iron sharpens iron. Iron sharpens iron. And the baby within you will leap. Hallelujah. Ask God to x-ray those that are not of Him and to remove them from you. Ask God. But when you're asking Him, know that when He does it, you have the understanding. When people leave your side, you will not be angry with them. When people mock you, you will not be angry because you're asking God, take away those that would The Bible says, keep your heart with all diligence, for out of it flows the issues of life. Ask God to make you sensitive. Keep your heart with all diligence, for out of it flows the issues of life. A lot of reasons why our purpose and destiny have been aborted. As our sister said, many times we go about telling people, and I've noticed that in my life, anytime I start saying things, that purpose and vision will never come to pass, because there are spirits waiting to block and hinder. But the Bible says, keep your heart with all diligence, for out of it flows the issues of life. You know, I believe we've touched on the same thing. The Spirit of God has already moved. But remember, when the enemy comes to test you, or when things rise up against you, let me rephrase that. It hasn't risen up against you because you don't know, but because you've been taught. Hallelujah. They come up against you because you know and you've been taught. So keep your heart with all diligence. And when they come up against you, remember wisdom. Hallelujah. Remember wisdom. Get wisdom. Get wisdom. In all you're getting, get understanding. Hallelujah. And when you get understanding, the spirit of counsel, you'll be able to counsel people rightly. You'll be able to order their step. Why? Because you've gone through the process. I've gone through divorce, and I know how to counsel people to say, don't go that way. I know how to counsel people and say, come, let me tell you, what's the problem? Okay, try this way, try that way. Why? Because I've gone through the process. Hallelujah. It wasn't an easy process. It wasn't a comfortable process. But I'm able to stand and counsel people with wisdom. I'm able to warn the people, don't come. I'm able to stand as a watchman and as a wailing woman to say, no. You're not going to go through that same mistake. The purpose and the process is not for you. The process is for other people. But somebody has to go through it. So next time when you're saying that I may know him and the power of his resurrection, remember there's a process. Remember there's a process. And that process is not for you. Because when you go up higher, you'll be able to draw other people higher. Hallelujah. When you go up higher, you'll be able to draw other people higher. Amen.